Okay, how can we become a MERN stack developer in 2025? So as we all know, full stack development is very hot topic in the current market. So it's very important that we should update our knowledge as well. So there is already Java Spring Boot is available and Python full stack is also available. But meanwhile, there is a Node.js as well as React and Nest.js is also available, which is called MERN stack actually here. So in this video, we are going to see what are the steps that we need to do in order to become a MERN stack developer actually here. Okay, so as we all know, MERN stack stands for MongoDB, E stands for Express.js, R stands for React, and N stands for Node.js actually. These are the four stacks that which is abbreviation for the MERN stack actually here. So in the current 2025, there's a lot of projects which supports this MERN stack actually here. Okay, so as you can see here, Netflix, NASA, Trello, PayPal, LinkedIn, Walmart, Uber, Medium, Groupon, eBay, Mozilla. These are all the websites they are using Node.js in everywhere. So it's very important that it's not about they are using only Node.js. They are using other languages also. In some of the modules they are using Node.js as well. Okay. So how to become a MERN stack developer? Again, back to the same question. So first of all, when you want to become a MERN stack full stack developer, first we should know the basics of HTTP request as well as response, authentication, authorization, accessing the header, and how the data can be passed from front end to the client side, and how can we able to build the REST API, what is REST API. These are all the questions first we should know, understand the basics to become a full stack developer. Okay, once you understand in all these things, then go for the Node.js. So first you need to set up the Node.js as usual, then try to use JavaScript. How can we able to compile the JavaScript using Node.js, and then just to create how to create a node project by using npm init and create a simple JavaScript file and installing some simple packages like how to connect to the how to create a JWT token. By using simple library we can able to do this process. So once you know how to set up the node project, how to install the libraries, how to compile the file, now try to add Express to our project, because now we are going to the next step. So first step is we need to go for the Node.js. Next is we need to go for the Express, because Express is the framework which helps us to create a REST API. The reason is by using Node we can able to develop the application, but when we want to develop the REST API, it is very important that we should add this Express to our project. It is simplified the REST API by using Node.js actually here. So just understand Express framework, what is how to create an object, how can we able to create a REST API, and what is get, put, post and delete, what is request and response, what is callback, what is await and async, which means the promise. It's very important because in Node.js project this is very important, this promise and async. Everywhere we use these concepts to get the response and request. And once we done all these things, we should know about how to access the data. Which means whenever we are passing the data from front end to the client side to the back end, we should know how to request the data. It is path variable is also available, query parameter and the request body, all these things are available, and we should know how we can able to use these concepts appropriately in our REST API. And whenever the request comes, of course the next thing is response. So we should know about how to respond in a proper way with a JSON object, because it's not about just we can able to share the data in a string format, because if you are passing a string, of course your response would be correct, but when it comes to Angular or React, they will not able to understand your response. It's very important that we should properly send the response from Express to the front end applications actually here, which is by using the JSON format, and we should send appropriate status code also. So we should have a knowledge about all these things in order to become a MERN stack developer. Okay, once we done all these things, it's very important that we should know about. So we have to understand that how we can able to use this MongoDB in order to connect to the Node.js. So first step is first to go with the node with MongoDB, then you can incorporate these things to our Express application, because initially if we can able to do these concepts with your Express directly, you will get confused. So it's very important that you should able to do connect MongoDB with your Node.js, then try to incorporate with Express.js actually here. By using this get, put, post and delete, you can do the same steps with your MongoDB also, which means creating the data, inserting the data, updating the data, deleting the data. All these things you can able to do with these concepts actually here. So once we have done these concepts, the next step is, as we all know, connect to the front end application. So the front end application, it can be Angular or it can be React or it can be both. So whatever you wish you can able to do, but as of now current market is for React applications, so try to go with the React actually here. So try to create a one React application by using npx create react app, or you can do some other things as well. There's a other, I think nowadays the new version came by using the nest.js. Using the nest also we can able to create the React application. So we can create a React application and create a routing concepts, and once we done all these things, connect your REST API with our React actually. This is a final step in order to connect the Express with our React actually. So once we done all these things, try to send the request, check whether the request is passing to the Node and Express and it is reaching to the MongoDB, and get the data, read the data, update the data, delete the data. So once you have done all these things, try to understand the authentication, authorization, because this is a very important concept in order to become a full stack developer. You should know how to create the login API, registrations API, and how to upload the file, how to verify the REST API. Only how can I able to restrict the API access if that particular request is not given by the proper authenticated user. So all these things we should know in terms of become a MERN stack developer. Whatever I am telling is already available in the MERN stack npm repository, and the main thing is we should know npm repository, because it may be Express, Node, React, everywhere we should know npm repository, where we have to download the repository from appropriately. So it's very important that we should able to understand these concepts, and once we have learnt all these things, of course we can become a good MERN stack developer.